We're back with another podcast today. We've got a special guest who's never been on the podcast before. He did have his own podcast for a split second, but that's no longer. He is the nephew of Uncle Walt, and we have Ryan Falcone. Shout out to Ryan Falcone. Ryan, how's it going?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me on the Quarantine Chronicles. You guys have been doing it for a minute now. So
Too many days.
March. Oh God.
wait, do you have an exact number of days?
I think it's like 120 or 130.
I think today is.
Oh Jesus.
I opened up a high noon just for the sake of Ryan being on the podcast today. So cheers to Mr. Ryan Falcone. Ryan, I got a question.
I didn't know that. Hold on. For you, ask a question. I didn't know that. So you're drinking a high noon because is that like what does that mean? Alcohol? Because I'm on the show.
No, I mean I had them. There was 2 left in my fridge, and I was like, you know what? Like I want to buy some more, so I might as well just drink these 2. But we're doing like podcasts, so I figured, gotta get a little relaxed for tonight. So
I'm having a coffee because I need to get hyper for you guys. But go ahead. Question.
No, my question was, so like other people, I'm sure, I knew your name in like 2012 or something because Ravi would just say shout out to Ryan Falcone. How did that come about? Because you don't make videos. You never made videos before. You know what I mean?
Ravi used to be like, I used to hang out with Ravi, be like, oh yeah, I'm just texting Ryan. I'm like, who's Ryan? Ryan Falcone. You don't know him? I'm like, no.
So I honestly, this is an honest to God story. I honestly don't know how I met Ravi. Like, I don't remember how it happened. I know so I, just like everybody else, I watched everyone's YouTube videos, but I never made them. I would just watch everything, and I followed everybody on Twitter. Like when I first made a Twitter in like 2009, I think like 2010, around that time. If you go back, like my first or second follow was Ravi because he would always talk about Twitter. So I don't know how we met. All I know is he followed me on Twitter. Like I would tweet him, he'd follow me back. And then the first time I met Ravi was WrestleMania 29 when it was in New Jersey. And I don't remember. I just remember we would tweet each other, and I'm from New Jersey, so I was like, hey, if you want to, meet up, come to Access or whatever. And he's like, yeah, let's go to these Access sessions. So I went to a couple Access sessions with him, and we hung out the whole weekend. And that's the first time I met him, and then we got closer, after that. But I genuinely don't remember how it happened. The shout out to Ryan Falcone thing was, if you remember, do you remember SpongeBob Guitar Man?
Yeah, I remember the name.
So I don't know where he is or if he's still rapping, but he rapped, and for some reason, I don't even remember. Like, he didn't tell me he was gonna do it. He just put it on the song. And then everyone thought it was hilarious, and it was hilarious. But that's how that started. So that's where the shout out to Ryan Falcone thing happened.
Okay, that makes sense. I think you told me that once before, but I forgot. But yeah, that's I didn't know who Ryan Falcone was in like 2012, 2013, 14, whatever it was. But like, I just knew like Assault and Battery said it, and so I was like, oh, shout out to Ryan Falcone. I don't know who he is, but by all means, so.
Yeah, if you go back and watch those Mania 29 vlogs from Ravi, you could see a very young Ryan Falcone in those vlogs.
I remember seeing you in the videos. I just didn't know who you really were because you just kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
I was probably like 15 or 16. 16 maybe? Yeah. Crazy to think about. It's been a long time.
There's a lot of young YouTubers that would look at you and be like, man, I don't know who that guy is, but he's hanging out with Assault and Battery.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because as we know, like, because of our group of friends that we hang out with when we go on wrestling trips, it's weird when you go out and people like recognize you. Like, it's even weirder for me because I don't make videos at all. Like, I never made videos. So when someone walks up to me at like Starfest or Access or something, and they're like, "Oh, you're Ryan. I know you from these." I'm like, "You must really watch everyone's videos because I don't do shit, and you know who I am."
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how did you even find? What was the day you're like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and find wrestling videos? Because it's such a random thing,
Dude, so what I think it was I was really interested in the WrestleMania. Like, I wanted to know what it was like to go to WrestleMania. And it's funny that we talk about this because I feel like we still talk about this to this day. Is like who started who had the biggest WrestleMania vlogs, who influenced people to go to WrestleMania more, like. And I think I found like I don't even know whose they were. Someone made WrestleMania vlogs. Maybe it was Miguel's actually, like WrestleMania 25, maybe.
Okay.
And I just thought they were so cool that. So then I started finding other people, and that's how I found Ravi. That's how I found Legend Killer and everyone else around that time. Who else was it? Like Spinnernet and like everyone else that made videos at the time. Like,
yeah.
Who else was there? Was another one I'm missing. Who was like Wrestling Jesus? Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like all those guys. It's so funny because Justin, you had a big channel, but I did not know I didn't know you until I met you.
That's fun.
I don't know how that happened because I probably should have found your channel too.
I'm like Ravi's side. I'm like the replacement to what's the Legend Killer that everyone hates.
Yeah, no, you came too, but then I don't know what it was. It's like you just find these videos and you're like, damn, like this looks like so much fun going on these trips. I've said this before, but like Ravi, you, Breach, like WWE owes you guys a check for sure. Like,
oh yeah,
for like,
definitely.
Like all the people that went on WrestleMania trips because they saw your videos, your guys' videos. It's crazy.
I remember the first time we met. It was like the hotel room at 32. It's like, oh, Falcone's coming. I'm like, everyone's like, who? When we just met, like, oh, he was like a chill guy.
It's so funny because I knew, like, I obviously at this point I knew who you guys are, but it's just not my style. Like just to get in a room of people and walk up to everybody, and be like, "Oh my God, you're this person, you're that." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. So a lot of people, I think I rubbed a couple people the wrong way when I first met some of you guys. Like, not you, because I don't think I did at least. Did I rub you the wrong way, Justin, when I first met you?
No, you're Ravi's friend. I was like, oh, it's Falcone.
Yeah,
this guy Ravi talks about all the time.
Yeah,
he'd be like hanging. It's like, who are you texting? Falcone. I'm like, what?
You know what? I kind of wish I just didn't meet anybody and I could just be this mystery forever that everyone would just be like, Ravi could just talk about. Because it's funny, even when we went to New Orleans, if you watch the early vlogs before I got there, there'd be like I didn't know Alex or Matt before that, and there were just so many people. Like I don't even remember them now, but there were a couple vlogs where someone would say like Ryan, and then you'd hear Matt in the background, like Matt Lorenzo in the background, be like, I don't know who the fuck that is, like just like a bunch of people, and I honestly love it. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah, I think because Ravi probably always would talk about me or just be like, oh, like not in a weird way, but just be like, oh, Ryan's coming, or like I'm talking to Ryan, or people would expect me to just join the group and be like, but I didn't really know anyone like that, so I just kind of tried to fit in, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I guess it was just like it was funny because certain people would be like, oh, they don't think you like them that much because you didn't really talk to them that much, and I was like, I don't even know them, like, you know what I mean? Like I never met them or spoke to them in my life, but it's funny to think about now because now we're all so close. We all talk so much and hang out and go on these trips together. Like I've been on more trips with Justin than almost anybody now, pretty much.
So speaking,
because like we met at 32 like briefly, and 34 we hung out more because I hung out with Ravi, and Ravi was like, "Oh yeah, come hang out with Falcone." I'm like, all right. Yeah. And we went to Vegas together.
Well, Chicago first, all in first. We got to cover all in first because all in was like the trip, right? Like I feel like that was the trip that it's weird to say because I've been going on trips.
Remember at 34 when we were like making fun of All In because it was like, oh, it's gonna be a wrestling trip. It's not gonna be like a WrestleMania because Mike was hyping it up so much.
How could I forget? Because that's why Pico hated me.
Well, I thought that you were like making fun of me at first, so I was like, oh well, this guy sucks. Like, who does he think he is? And then like we get into like a call. I think it was I forgot like who we were talking about, but then I think one day like. A couple of days after that, you were like, "Hey, let's play Fortnite," and we played Fortnite for a good like I don't know month, like. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, "Oh well, I'm glad that we played Fortnite because that would have been an awkward like all in trip." So
yeah, well, it's just it's funny because at 34, And I've told you this story before. I wasn't even thinking about, like, I thought about going all in, but I was graduating college. Like, I didn't have a full-time job yet. And to plan a full wrestling trip, like, right after New Orleans was too much for me. And I wasn't even, so, like, it really didn't cross my mind. I was trying not to think about it. So, people were just, like, making the jokes, making the, like, look in my eyes jokes, and, like, and the truth, and I've told you this story. The truth is, I just thought those jokes were hilarious. Like, they were so funny. So I was making those jokes, but I know that's what what I guess you thought I was making fun of you, but I actually wasn't making fun of you. I just thought the jokes were really funny. So they were like, I remember someone said to me, like, "Oh, Mike thinks you're making fun of him," and I was like, I've never met him. Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's not like that. I just thought the jokes were funny. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But All In wound up being, like, I feel like, so New Orleans was, like, I feel like was probably the last big WWE trip. Like, I don't know if we'll all go on a big WWE trip ever again, unless like Mania's in New Orleans again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Justin, I'm sure you could say, like, you probably aren't planning on going on a WWE trip unless, like, the location's great or something like that.
Yeah, unless it's, like, close to me. I didn't even go to New York. I went to New York for the day for whatever, ROH New Japan.
Yeah, which was a classic. But, like, if Mania's in New Orleans, I'm sure we'll all go.
Oh yeah, we're all going.
I'll be there.
It's a reunion. It's a reunion in New Orleans.
Yeah.
If they want to do every 4 years in New Orleans, obviously with the situation going on, but, like, if they want to do every 4 years in New Orleans, like, I'm totally fine with that, because I thought like going to California for another Mania would be, like, the next time. But honestly, like, thinking about Los Angeles, if it even happens next year, it's like, the traffic is gonna suck, and if I'm going to Los Angeles, I don't want to go for wrestling. Like, there's other stuff I want to do in Southern California, SCU, that, like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, I'll do New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans. It seems like a fun time, especially now.
It's the best place for a WrestleMania. Like, if you, like, Justin can attest to, like, if you
walk everywhere, you can go party on the street if you want. You go anywhere you want. It's like 15-minute walk. There's no Uber.
That's the best part about New Orleans for WrestleMania. That's the best. Not even New Orleans. Like, take New Orleans out of it. If you're going to a city for a WrestleMania where you can walk everywhere, like, everything's 10-15 minute walking distance. There's good places to eat. There's good places to go out. It's not super expensive. The weather's nice. That's the ultimate, and that's why New Orleans is so great. Like, because the hotel I stayed at, I looked out my window and access was right across the street. Like, I could walk literally right across the street, walk right into Access, walk into the Superstore. And then in the stadium, by the way, this is also huge. The stadium's in the city. Where, like, a lot of times where the stadium is outside the city, you have to drive, parking, Uber. Like, New Orleans is the best by far. And I know
need a car in New Orleans.
No, you don't need anything in New Orleans. You barely have to Uber anywhere unless you're in a rush.
Yeah, I Ubered once to Access because I was too lazy to walk. It was like 2-minute Uber.
Yeah, because and another time we were rushing because it was like we only had so much time. Because remember our breakfast? Like, our breakfast went super long because it was so slow after we had Austin. But
well, I'm sold.
even if Mania's in Vegas, I kind of like saving Vegas for the Double or Nothing. But
yeah, I think so.
But before we go to Vegas. Should we talk? I want to talk about All In a little bit because I feel like, not to completely take over your podcast. I just feel like No, because All In to me felt like the wrestling trip. Like, I think if we look back like 20 years from now, I know. Hold it in. Like, I think if you look back like I'm saying, like 20 years from now, and we think about all the trips that we've been on, all the trips that we're gonna go on. Because I'm not, like, once all this stuff's over, like, we're going back on trips for sure. But that trip, it brought, like, the whole group together. There, like, everything was relative. Like, obviously, like, no trip's gonna be completely 100% perfect, but, like, for the most part, everything was relatively easy. Yeah. We met everybody. The wrestling was great. We got to do so much fun stuff. Like, you and your family were great. like it just made like I don't know. There's something about that trip. Like I remember I came home from the trip and my family asked me how it was, and I was just like, man, I'm going to Chicago for this thing every year. Like it's the best. It's the best trip. Like it's the easiest trip. It's there that trip Labor Day weekend. Like I don't know if as long as AEW is in Labor Day is on in Chicago on Labor Day, I don't think there'll be a Labor Day where I'm not in Chicago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it for this year.
Trip and said, if I never go on another trip again, I'll be fine because like that's how good that trip was.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that really like, for me, All In was, like obviously it was about the trip, but it was about like the show itself. But like everything together, it was just all, like it was just so it was amplified times 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why like All Out, was like more about the trip because I didn't care as much about the show. I cared more about like hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think All In kind of for me, um, it took, like Justin said, like if I never went on another wrestling trip again, I'd be fine. And
Yeah.
at All In was a transformation of being about the wrestling to being about the trip itself, and
Oh,
that's
for
what it
sure.
did.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Like I know not to fast forward too much, but like with All Out was it was like everything that went wrong in All In because look, All In was the first of its kind. Like we didn't know. I didn't. At least I can only speak for myself, and you guys can give your thoughts. Like I didn't know what to expect from All In. Like I didn't know. And I'm not just talking about the show. Like I'm talking about Starcast.
Yeah, the whole
like
weekend.
just the whole thing. Like I was like, this is an indie show. Like I don't know what is going to come out of this. So for All Out, anything that may have been a problem was fixed with All Out. And there was something about the All Out trip that was like, look, All In was a magical trip, like the perfect wrestling trip. Although I don't know if I liked All Out more. Like I feel like we had so many great moments during the All Out weekend. Like we had so much fun during that weekend. I did not want to go home. Like I was like, I'm just gonna live at Mike's forever. like like I don't know about you guys. I know it might be different for you, Mike, but I'm sure Justin can say like that All Out trip. And I looked at Justin and Ravi. You can if you guys watch Ravi's vlog from that day, you can see this because I sat with Justin and Ravi for that show, and I looked at them and I was just like, if you had told me that a year ago, like a year after All In, when I was in this arena, a year from now, they're going to have this whole company. We're going to be back here again in the same arena. Like, and they're going to be starting a new company, and Jericho is going to be on it. And like, they're going to have a sold out show and they're going to be on TNT. I would have told you were crazy. Like, I would have been like, that sounds like the best thing possible for professional wrestling. And I couldn't even believe it. You can watch that moment on Ravi's vlog where I said that to them because it was so authentic. Like that's genuinely how I felt. Like I remember looking around in that building and being like, holy crap. Like this is all the pent up frustration of us as wrestling fans that have been looking for something new and great for years. And they find like we have it now. Like it was almost like when we love New Japan, but there's things about New Japan that are annoying, like the time zone and like you can't really go to as many shows. And like they just took so many of like they took a lot of the best parts of New Japan and then made an American pro wrestling company. I don't know, like All In, like I said before we go into All Out, but All In was just perfect. And then I think All Out, I don't know. Do you think All Out topped it?
Oh yeah, I thought All In was either going to be a great show or this is going to be like a disaster. Like everything's going to go wrong.
Yeah,
going to go wrong. They're going to run over the time, which they almost did because I was there. And I see the ref yelling at Okada and Marty to go home for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they barely make it to the end of the pay-per-view. And I'm like, but like it all worked out. It was like the perfect show.
Not just the show though. Like, do you think the All Out trip topped the All In trip?
I think so.
I do think so because we were more anticipated. Like we're like, oh, it's going down. I feel like All In we were going in blind. We're just like, whatever. Starcast, we kind of just went to. We thought it was like, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. Also, I didn't like really go much to it compared to you guys.
Yeah. You know why All Out was easier? Because you guys weren't like a million miles away. Like, because everybody was like, everybody was either at my house or like next to the arena. Like Ryan, No Tweet was like right next to the arena. So it was like, it was just I don't know. It just made it so much easier, and like we learned from the year before, and I think that was what made All Out like the trip itself, um, like better. But like the show, based on importance, All In was like the better
Of
show.
course, yeah. Like All In's definitely the more historic
Yeah.
show, but. And if we're just talking about a trip, and when I think about these trips, it's so funny because like I barely think about the show. Like when I think about All Out, I just think about like doing dumb shit at your house or like walking around the mall and
Oh yeah.
Tommy like tasting the super hot,
Oh dude.
thing, like us going to get deep dish. Like the fact that we're not going to get deep dish pizza in like 3 weeks from now makes me
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed. Like I can't believe this is where we're at. Like the fact that I have to wait a whole nother year to get back to Chicago for all out.
Mhm.
I'm pissed, man. Like
So
that's the best trip.
okay, so there's I got two things here. One could be a good transition, but I'm gonna go back to like for me, All Out was the I said it was more about the trip. And when we were in that mall, like here's the thing. And when I like I guess all the other days of the year, like leading up to and before and after like the weekend itself, the trip itself, it's always like, man, I wish I could like me personally, I wish I could just like go somewhere else for a trip because it's a lot to like, plan and have to worry about. But
Hmm.
honestly, like the fact that we're 15 minutes away from my house for a show. We went to the mall that I always go to just to hang out and you have all these people that they wouldn't normally be here. You have like New York people, you have Canada people, you got wherever. Like it was just like one of those weird realizations where it's like this is just the mall that I go to every single week or
Yeah,
once a month or whatever, and now like here you guys are in my mall. You know what I
for
mean?
sure. And the other thing to add too that um, I know Justin can attest to the one of the because you just reminded me of this by what you were saying because I forgot this, but it's a great point. Another reason why that trip is so great, why that uh why am I forgetting the town that Sears Center's in? What's it called?
In the States.
Oh, Huffman Estates. Doing a wrestling trip in like essentially the suburbs,
Oh yeah.
it's so much easier than being in a big city. Like it's unbelievable how much easier it is. Also, you can go and get lunch for cheap. Like you don't have to be in a giant city where everywhere you go, you're going to be spending $40 on a meal. Like
Mhm.
Justin and I can attest because we could talk about Vegas too a little bit.
Oh
And
God.
and that trip was great. Don't get me wrong, but everything's just so expensive. You know what I
Like
mean?
went to Starbucks and it's like double.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. Like don't get me wrong, I loved that trip. I just spent tons of money there. Like it's way too
Yeah.
much money.
Did
Um
we go downtown during All Out at all?
yeah, for the
Yeah, we
Omega.
went to the Omega signing.
But
Yeah.
we just did the Omega signing, right?
Yeah, we
No,
didn't
no,
go
no,
to
no, no. We went to Giordano's.
Yeah, I'm saying like we didn't go like downtown. We didn't see the beam. We didn't like, do all the touristy stuff.
no.
I
Okay.
don't I
Enjoy.
don't
Oh, because we went to the Omega signing, and then we went to Giordano's, and then there was that record store that happened to be like down the street that we went to that I wanted to go to,
that
and
was sick.
then
Yeah.
um
We just went home.
like we just went home. We went to the train station. So the fact, okay, when I'll say this, living in Chicago, I'm Ryan. I'm sure you can say this with New York. When you go to New York every single day for work, it's like this is like I don't care anymore. It's the same thing with Chicago. It's like I love Chicago. It's great, but like when you have to do the touristy things every single time, it
Yeah.
sucks. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like All Out was nice to just kind of like what we're just going to we'll go to the Omega signing, but I feel like this year, I don't think we would have even left Schaumburg. I think we would have like the farthest we would have gone was Schaumburg because I think we were all planning on getting like the highest tier bracelet for Starfest and then just like hanging out there, going to the mall, like staying in that area. I don't think we would have needed to go anywhere else. You know what I mean?
I think it's tough to say, but you're not wrong. Like you're not wrong. Like that totally could have happened. I think that it would really like okay. I don't need to go to downtown Chicago if we're for another one of these wrestling shows if there's nothing going on. Like I'd be okay not going. But if there was like a big signing at Pro Wrestling Tees or
Yeah.
something, like, I still like going to the Pro Wrestling Tee store, even though we have a great story. I think we could tell about when we went to the Pro Wrestling Tee store for the Omega signing. Yeah, which I'll get to in a second. But you're not wrong though. Like I don't think we would even need to go to downtown Chicago because we had we have to like it's so ridiculous when you say it like this, but we have the best vacation, the best trip of our life in like a suburban town in Chicago. Like it's so ridiculous, but it's true.
Like just 2 years ago.
Like I know, isn't that crazy? But we're all just hanging out in this town, like this random ass town in the suburbs of Illinois, and we're having the time of our lives. You know what I'm saying, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Like because you're not from Chicago either.
Yeah, I get it. We don't have to go to some big city to go like hang. We're just hanging out like friends. Like you're going to your friends.
Yeah, and it's great. Do you want to tell the pro? Should I tell the Pro Wrestling Tee story?
I don't even know this.
I feel like this is the start of our hate for Pro Wrestling Tees. Like this.
Oh yeah.
So, if you know me, you know that on these wrestling trips, I like to buy T-shirts. And Justin is also pretty bad. Here's the difference. Okay, Ravi's also pretty bad. Here's the big difference. I go into these trips expecting to buy 10 T-shirts. Justin and Ravi don't, but they somehow
I'm expecting 3 because we text each other in the chat like the flyer, like, oh, we're gonna get this, and this. So I'm like usually at 3 to 4, and you're about like at 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm fully anticipating like buying like at least 6 T-shirts when I go on a wrestling trip, and then it usually turns into 10. You know what I mean? Actually, that's not true. I usually come out with like 4 or 5. The All Out trip was we all got a little too sick at just at everything. We bought too many shirts. So where are we? We were all at Stark. We were there at Starcast, or we were at Mike's. I think we were at Mike's house. This was after All Out. And I remember didn't they put out like a tweet or an Instagram post being like, everything non-AEW related is 50% off. Everything AEW related is 20% off. Wasn't that what it was?
It's like 30%, like super 30. Good deal. And we're like, oh my god, this is gonna be crazy.
We were freaking out. I barely slept that night. I just like couldn't wait to buy these wrestling T-shirts.
We were on Pro Wrestling Tees making orders to see what we need to get.
I know. It was so bad. Like, keep in mind at this point, I think I had already bought like 6 or 7 T-shirts too. So like, I'm going to this store. I'm looking on the site. Like, I'm showing Ravi. I'm showing Justin. I'm like, I'm buying this. I'm buying this. I'm buying this. Oh, it's 30% off on. It's only going to cost me $16. I'm buying this. Oh, there's a New Japan shirt. It's going to be 50% off. So I'll get a new Jay White shirt for $11 or whatever it is. So I'm like showing all. We're all marking out over these shirts. We were on the train, just freaking out over the shirts. We're at the store and there's a line to get in. And I have no patience. I think it's in one of the vlogs too. You can just see like Ravi being like, calm down. Like we're going to get in there eventually. And I was just like, let me in. I need like the Fiend, you know, let me in because I need to get in there and I need to buy some shirts. So what happens when we get into the store, Justin?
Half of it's empty.
Not only is half of it empty, all the stuff that they did have, they barely had any good selections.
Oh,
they had
and the stuff
nothing.
Didn't have the right sizes.
Oh yeah, there was nothing in this store. Like they didn't have, like it was so bad. Like there were new Kenny Omega shirts that weekend. There were new like Young Buck shirts. They didn't have any of them.
I wanted an AEW's Jericho shirt. They didn't have medium or large.
Yeah. And then I think we asked them, like, are you making more? And they're like, no, we're done. And I'm like, how are you? It's the day after All Out. You have the biggest star in the company signing here and you have no merchandise to sell? I bought an Evil and Sonata shirt. I bought the Change the World Elite shirt. I bought the Pro Wrestling Tees Hao Ming mask shirt, which I know Pico regrets not buying. And I bought something else too. But the fact that they didn't have the biggest things. I know Justin bought the infamous Private Party shirt.
Oh, I bought the Private Party
Kelsey
shirt.
Wearing the other day.
Yeah, that's her gym shirt now. I bought the mystery box that had utter garbage that I gave away to people in the line.
Mean Geno Mania.
Mean Genomania, a Japanese shirt that I've never seen, which is, telling that I love Japanese wrestling. And
Kevin Nash.
A Kevin Nash middle finger Johnny Cash shirt, which I literally almost threw in the garbage.
Mean Genomania was the best. That was a disaster, and that makes me not want to go back to the pro wrestling tee store. But we'll go back.
As a person,
I say this all the time. Every time I make an order online, I was like, I'm just a clown, dude.
Yeah, it's just why do I keep ordering from this website?
As somebody who hates,
it takes 1 month minimum to get here. It's so long.
It's bad.
It's annoying.
It's bad for you, but it's pretty bad for me too. And I'm not even in.
You're
Canada. Like I'm in the country. Yeah.
As somebody who hates driving in Chicago, pro wrestling tees, they need to get a parking lot. They need to get a bigger place, a bigger store. They need to get a store in the Woodfield Mall, something, because I refuse to drive to that stupid store. I had to drive once there when I was working. They asked me, "Oh, can you go pick up a t-shirt we got at this 1 Hour Tees place?" And I was like, "Oh God, you got to be kidding me." I had to double park on a side street. I mean, it's just the worst. It's by far the worst. And when there's thousands upon thousands of people come into Chicago and they all want to go to pro wrestling tees, there's just nowhere to park. Where do you park? You can't.
The funny thing is, we went back for Revolution and the same problem happened.
So I wasn't there, but I'd love to
hear.
There was
no shirts.
No shirts?
Oh, there was no line, so we were the only couple people in the store, and they wouldn't print for us.
Although the one thing good about Pro Wrestling Tees store that weekend was they had the Revolution poster with Jericho and Moxley on it. They had it in a poster tube in the store, and that was probably the best thing because when at the arena, which apparently that was supposed to be a arena exclusive, at the arena they were just giving them out. There was no poster tubes, nothing, and it was just here you go, here's your poster, $15, and I was like, I'm so glad we got those because mine would have been destroyed.
I hate to sound like a hater, but I don't know anything about how to make a t-shirt. But I can't imagine it's that hard or it takes that long.
I'll tell you what. As someone who got a tour through the Pro Wrestling Tees thing, because I was applying for a job there, and to print T-shirts, and I realized very quickly that I have a lot more respect for the people who make the shirts because there's no air conditioning, everyone's sweaty, they have to hand make these. There's thousands of T-shirts, it's nuts.
Yeah, I'm sure it sucks to work in the back, but I guess the point I was trying to make was if they are if you want to get something printed at the store, how hard during one of those weekends, how hard is it? You know what I mean?
The only thing would be there'd be just a lot of people asking to get stuff printed, but it's not hard at all.
But we're literally going to give you money.
Yeah. But at the same
money
time,
they lost because they didn't have stuff.
Yeah, I understand. Also, if they can't do it on the spot, or even if they extend the wait time, but
they got a direct to garment printer that can do whatever you want whenever you want.
If you're going to be there on let's say you're going to be there on Sunday. Even if it's Friday and you put
a pre-order.
Yeah, and it's just print these for me by Monday. Or Sunday, I'm sorry. You're going to make money. And if the excuse is it's too busy, I don't know, that's just I don't know, maybe I'm sounding too much of a business person, but that's just poor business tactics to me. The way I look at it is that's your busiest weekend of the year. So if that means you're working overtime, pay your people overtime and buck up and make as much money as you can. It's 4 days. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And then after that, give your people a couple of days off, close for 3 days or something after, give them, but just let them know for that weekend, look, this is the busiest weekend of the year. We need to make sure we're making all this stuff. That's your business. You know what I mean? It's like selling Christmas trees during Christmas time. You know what I mean? You don't close and say sorry, we're too busy. No, this is where you make all your money. You know what I mean? They probably make more money that weekend than all year.
Mm-hmm.
Not to just completely shit on Pro Wrestling Tees, but
No, until they get a new
get the money anyways, I am and Mike is probably.
No, I haven't. Last time I gave them money was Revolution because I just don't want to pay their shipping prices. It costs the same to ship an hour away than it does to ship to New York probably. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
Anyway,
Plus, you guys are spending enough money on wrestling figures anyway. Recently,
you said you got some figures.
I got some figures.
Yeah, you got like a Finn Balor and stuff.
I only have a couple. So I have some wrestling figures in boxes. The ones I have displayed. I have a Finn Balor. I have the Finn Balor Elite NXT one. I think it's his first Elite one. I'm pretty sure it's his first Elite one. It's where he's the demon.
Yeah, that's at least the first demon. Because I knew that I was like, I gotta buy this because it's the first demon. You know.
Yeah. So. And I have the ones I have displayed. So I have that, and I have the Edge, one of 3,000 classic superstars that I have signed by him. And then I mostly have pop, like for wrestling stuff. I mostly have pops, that are like my signed wrestling pops, displayed. Yeah, I'm not as dude. The WWE figure game is crazy. I don't know how you guys keep
Especially
up with
now.
it. Like I've collected Star Wars figures my entire life, and
Oh, yeah?
and I have tons, and it's just been something I've always collected. And there's a wave that comes out like every couple months that's got like 6 figures in it, and I usually just buy that and I'm done. When I'm in the store looking at figures, I look at the WWE figures. There's so many, there's so many variants and stuff. Like if you want to collect WWE figures, you're like,
you got to buy what you like.
That's, yeah, it must be so hard if you're a completist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's like, even with AEW
that's why I don't want to start because I know if I start, I'm gonna start being a completist, and then I gotta go for those chases.
I'll be honest. Okay, Ryan, let me know what you think because so at Revolution, like the convention thing, they had the figures on display. You could look at them; they looked incredible.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe how good they looked.
Yeah.
Fast forward to now, I'm looking at these pictures of people getting their figures. I mean, I'm not saying that they're cheap, but I mean, they look. I mean, I don't even know. I need to see them in person. But what do you think?
They don't look okay. I don't think they look as good as the elites, like the WWE elites.
Mm-hmm.
Those figures look phenomenal. Like the fact that those elite figures look that good, blow my mind. The AEW figures, I think they look. I do think they look good. I think you might be being a little harsh. But I don't think, they definitely could be a little better, but they're not made by a giant toy company, are they?
Yeah, that's true. No, it's one of the smaller ones.
They're made by the same people that used to make the classic superstars.
Yeah, but the technology has gotten so much better in making figures that they should be able to do it with the photoreal decos and stuff. Like, it's pretty crazy. But I think they look good. I definitely want to get. I want the first wave for sure, which annoys me because that means I have to pay $20 for the fucking Brandy Rhodes figure, which I don't want to buy. But I can't buy 5 out of 6. You know what I mean? You have to get the 6th at that point.
You gonna get them signed?
What's up?
You gonna get them signed eventually?
I don't know because I have no room to display 6 action figures. So if I get them all, but I probably, you know what? I probably will. I meet those guys so much that it's one of those things where you probably will. Eventually get them signed. The one I do really want, outside of all of them, I really want that ringside collectibles Jericho exclusive one. Have you seen that one?
Dude, I got that pre-ordered.
Oh, you got the bubbly one pre-ordered?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Justin, are you getting it?
I don't know. I don't want to start.
It's I don't know, man. The thing is that at first I was thinking, oh, this is like an easy line to get into. Like, there'll be 6 figures every 4 months. Like, let's say it's $100 every 4 months and you just collect them. Like, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's fine.
But now they've already got 3 waves announced, and I'm like, damn, I can't get every single. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's gonna be like $100 every 2 months, and then it's gonna pile up. I'm not worried about money, more about the space.
I thought about this. Today when I was going to the store trying to look for them. Originally, I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to get them all. But then as I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't know. Like, so my plan is, because as of yesterday, I was going to get the Elite, so Kenny and the Bucks. But I think starting now, I'm only going to get the Young Bucks figures until Hangman comes out. And then
Mike, you're doing it. You're playing the game. I'm telling you right now. I'll bet you your bed during All Out weekend that if you go into the store and you see the Bucks there on the shelf and you see Cody and Omega and even Brandy behind them, you're buying them all. I'm telling you will.
Dude, it's gonna be hard, but I can't. I got basketball and baseball cards coming out this week. I can't.
That's gonna be me in like a month. I'm gonna see them all. I'm like, well, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're there.
When I see them, okay.
If I see a chase, 1,000%.
Okay, I will buy the chases. If I see a chase, I will buy every single chase that I see. If I see multiple, I'll buy them all. Like that's how. Yeah, like that's the only thing. Like with the Jericho one, it like encapsulates a moment that we were at. So I was like, I have to get that one, and the meme and the T-shirts and everything. So that one ringside exclusive, or the ringside exclusive one, like the ringside screwed up my order. So hopefully I'll get it soon. I don't plan on it, so we'll see what happens. But
I like that figure too. Like I like the belt. I like the.
Oh yeah, you get everything. You get a table, the belt, the bubbly.
Yeah. It's a nice figure.
Yeah.
It's a really nice figure. Would you open it if you got it?
Oh, definitely. That's one of those where, and I think the whole thing. I think Justin said this the other day. The thing with the bubbly one is like you can take out you can take it out of the packaging and still keep it on display. I heard that the AEW figures, if you take it out of the packaging, like you're done. Like you got to throw away the packaging because there's no way to put it on display or put them back in the packaging.
Yeah, so
I'm
sure.
I think I'm just gonna buy the Bucks. And I'm just gonna hang the Bucks on my wall. Just have the first Young Bucks figures. Boom, call it a day. At the end.
They're nice figures, but the thing is, Wave 2. See, this is what Justin's talking about. So I say I'm only gonna get Wave 1. But then Wave 2 has Hangman, which looks awesome. It has the Lucha Brothers. Did you see the Lucha Bros ones?
See?
That's the problem. The Lucha Bros look amazing.
Yeah.
You know? And Justin got into the Dangerous New Japan line, which is the best looking figures of them all.
Oh, got Okada and Tanahashi.
Those I'm going to pre-order. Once they Wave 2 actually ships, I'll buy them. But yeah.
I got Tanahashi and Okada on pre-order.
You got them? Yeah. So you guys are getting crazy.
But here's the thing. I feel like you can. This might be something you want to get into too. I got Finn Balor. I got Shinsuke Nakamura. I just got an AJ. I'm gonna get Okada and Tanahashi. Eventually I'll get Takahashi and Naito, and maybe even Evil. So I'm gonna have like I want like a New Japan line. You know what I mean? So all my figures have something to do with like New Japan. Because eventually I'll get the Bucks, and I don't know if I'm not gonna open them now, but eventually I'll get Luke Gallows and.
So two things. One, I was looking at the New Japan figures, and I was looking at Okada, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy Okada, and then I kept looking at the figures, and I was like, shit, Tanahashi looks incredible. And I was like,
guitar.
I saw the guitar. Like that's a must buy.
Yeah, it was like that was my thing too. I literally said that to my dad because he was sitting. I was like, "Look at the fucking guitar." He's like, "God, that looks great." So I was like, so then I'm looking. I'm like, "Damn!" But the Osprey. And at that point, I just clicked the page. I was like, "I can't do it. Like, I'm just gonna buy the whole fucking line." And they're like $50 figures.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Did you order them off Ringside?
Yeah. I mean, that's what kind of screwed me up with Ringside because I had because the Okada was supposed to ship in July and the Jericho was supposed to ship in July as well. So I figured, okay, I'll buy them together. So I bought them together, and then they were like, hey, this Okada's going to come out in October. And I was like, oh, great.
So just for the record, I'm not saying Ringside. I know this
stinks.
No, I know this from ordering the Star Wars figures I was telling you about. Every site right now is backed up. Every site. Like there are things I ordered in April that I still haven't gotten that were supposed to come out in May. You know what I mean? Like it's just with COVID, everything running behind. So I don't want to take it all. Like Ringside might be screwing up, but at the same time, distributors are having a hard time getting product to where they need to be. You know,
I'll get it eventually. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried.
Do you have a Focus collection like Justin does? I know Undertaker and Sting. Like, do you do a Focus wrestler?
So honestly, like I don't have that many. Like I haven't bought that many wrestling figures. like I buy the guys that I like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I got the AJ one because that looked like the closest thing to the New Japan. I got the Shinsuke. Justin got me the Kevin Owens. I
Yep.
got the Triple H because I want to have a really good Triple H and a really good Shawn Michaels. And then so the one, okay, let me tell you about this figure I'm about to talk to you about. So it's a WWE Network like moments or something. It's
Hmm.
Matt Hardy from the freaking deletion thing. It comes
Oh,
with the drone. It comes with the hologram that comes off the drone,
I've
and it
seen this.
comes with
Yeah.
the boat, dude. It
Yeah.
comes with the boat, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't know that it came with the boat until after the fact. So I was like, you know what? Gotta buy it. But with these AEW figures, like um, now I think I'm just gonna do the Bucks.
So with me, I do have wrestling figures. Like I have a couple in a box. I just don't have anywhere to display them. I have Kevin Owens with the NXT title. I
Hmm.
have Samoa Joe with the NXT title. Um, I think he has NXT title. This is like Elite from like 4 years ago. I have AJ. I have AJ's first figure, and I have Sami Zayn. And because I wanted to get all the indie geeks, like all the
That's where I'm
ROH
at
geeks.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where I was just getting all of those guys. And now that I have all those guys, I have Nakamura's defining moments figure from Dallas. Um, Did you ever see that one
Hmm.
from when
Yeah, I
he
have.
from when he debuted? You have that, Justin?
Yeah,
So I thought it looked like you were only getting Undertaker and Sting figures, but you're buying other things too.
I got Shinsuke, I got Sting, I got Kane, I got too many takers.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of takers, but you have Kane and Shinsuke.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
Sting.
is that who you're focusing on, or are you gonna get anybody else?
No, that's pretty much it.
You're just sticking to those guys.
Yeah. Oh, Fiend. I'm gonna get some Fiends.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get. Do you have anything pre-ordered too?
Yeah, I got the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh wow, you got a couple things too. You
Yes,
guys are lucky. Wait till Sideshow starts making WWE figures. Have you ever seen these before?
no.
So Sideshow is a company that makes like super highly detailed. They're like barely figures. They're pretty tall, and they're very very highly detailed, and they're like $250, and I
Oh,
have
the statue styles. Okay.
yeah I have one of them, and it's the most realistic thing in the world. But if they start making WWE ones, it's a dangerous line to get into because they're really expensive. And also the other
I'll
thing that
get
you're
like
gonna
Undertaker. That'd be it.
yeah they're crazy. But wait till the other thing too, Mike, because you were saying that you've been debating whether you want to open them or keep them in the box.
Oh
Hmm.
my God, they have an Undertaker one coming soon.
For
A
what?
Sideshow.
For what?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
So
talk about this.
I
Yeah.
gotta look this up. What's it called?
I gotta see it.
They
They
have
have
a Rock one. They have a Warrior one.
What are we talking about? What's it called?
Sideshow.
Side
Just put Sideshow WWE.
show.
Oh no, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about so these are like statues. Like I'm talking about if you look at the other figures that are on this site, Justin, like you'll see what I'm talking about. Like there's like they're fully articulated, they're big. Um like yeah, I'm talking if they start making those,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be dangerous.
Oh, okay.
But
Jeez. Wow, look at that Captain America.
yeah, they look incredible.
Stanley.
But the other thing, too, Mike, is you were talking about whether you want to open them or not.
Mm-hmm.
The most dangerous thing that I've been doing recently is I've been getting two, and I've been keeping one in the box,
Oh yeah.
which you will eventually start doing because there'll be ones that you just can't bring yourself to open, but you're gonna want to open one and you're gonna want to keep one carded. I'm telling you,
See,
So
I did that.
this is what I thought I was gonna do for New Japan. I think that's what's gonna end up happening.
it is what's gonna happen. You're gonna wind up getting two. I'm telling you.
That's what I
There's
don't want for AEW. I want to add another thing.
Yeah. The only time I did that was with the like how they made the Mattel like retro like Hasbro looking ones.
Yeah.
I did that with Kevin Owens. I bought two Kevin Owens, one to open and one to put on my wall. But that's about it.
But I think Justin, if you really keep it to the first line, or like if you keep it to like if you really want to open, let's say the Omega and the Bucks, and you keep the other ones carded, like you could buy two of the Omega, two of the Bucks, and it's not that expensive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
So, but
I
yeah,
think it comes down to when I see it.
Wait till I see them in stores to decide.
Yeah.
Oh,
When I see it in person, it'll change my mind because I originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like throw my money away and just like, buy the entire first set, all six of them just because it's the first, series. But um, I got to see them in person. If I see them in person and I like how they look, then maybe. But like, I don't know. I just feel like they're going to make so many Codys and so many Jerichos where it's like, and so many Kennys where I don't like. One day I'll find the one that I want of that, that looks good. Like that's why like the Adam Page one, that one looks cool. I want to get, I'll get that one. The Bucks, I feel like I'll just collect every single Bucks figure. But the Cody, I'm sure he's gonna have like some really cool attire at some point that I want to get.
I don't know, because like I'm looking at the. Oh, by the way, Justin, we haven't spoke about this too. Are you getting any of the UFC figures?
Oh no, I saw people pre-order like trash.
Oh, you think they look trash?
The people that people got, I could send you pictures.
Oh, I saw them on ringside. I thought they looked good, but
I'll send you like a couple pictures. They look like garbage.
Oh, I was gonna get the Max Holloway one. I guess I won't. But the like if you look at the second wave of the AEW figures, like yeah, I want Hangman. Yeah, I kind of want the Lucha Bros. I don't need the Moxley figure. I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't need Dustin Rhodes. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't know. Like I could get the. I think I'll probably get the first series, and I do really want that. I really want that ringside exclusive, which I know Justin's gonna buy. He's stupid if he says he's not buying it. He's
the
buying
bubbly.
He's buying the bubbly.
Yeah.
I'll probably crack one day.
I feel like everybody, if you were at All Out, you need the bubbly because it solidifies or it like captures like the moment of the first championship being crowned in WWE, and then it turned into a big meme. You know what I mean? So,
well, here's a question: are you buying the? If you saw the belt, like the toy AEW belt in Walmart, are you buying it?
Yeah, I'll probably buy it.
Ryan, you see the Skype video?
Oh, you already bought it?
Oh, I already bought it.
Oh, you bought it at Walmart?
There it is. I bought this and I bought the ring, and I kept the ring in the packaging.
See, I won't get the ring, but I think I'll buy the belt. It's only $20.
See, with the ring, I probably should have bought the $100 one, but the ring, because that was the first thing I saw at the store, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, I gotta put the stickers on this thing to make it look cool, so I might as well just keep it in the packaging, and then one day if it's worth something, I could sell it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it would be cool to have like the first AEW ring.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think they look. It's funny because I've checked my Walmart, and it says on the site that they have it in stock like 5 minutes from my house, and I call
BS on that website, by the way, because they say that they have some like sports cards products that definitely they don't have, like at every single store in the area. So
well, it depends because some UPCs are the same, like
that's true.
As like for like the same product for like multiple. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah. So it might be the same code, but trust me, it works. Like I've been using it for a long time. It works.
You know what I did with the figures?
No, and by the way, I'm not even talking about that site. I'm talking about if you go on Walmart.com.
Oh, gotcha.
It says they have the AEW belt at the Walmart like 5 minutes from my house, but I just don't like. I'm like, do I need to drive over there and buy this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, for you. I feel like one day you're gonna actually buy the replica belt, so you might as well just wait for that.
Yeah, I probably will. I already have. I have 3 belts, so like the odds of me buying that belt probably would happen.
Are very high. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the AEW figures as soon as they show up at my Walmart. I know I'm gonna wind up buying them.
You know what I did? So back, like I don't know how many years ago it was. I want to say it was like 2018, 2019 maybe. Whenever the Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins podcast started, I went to I would go to stores looking for figures, and then one time I went to TJ Maxx and they had a Neville figure, and he, it's like one of his last figures, and I was like, it's only like $4 or something, so I bought it, and I was like, this had to have been like 2018 or 2019 or something, because I was like, well, I'm gonna buy this just because like he's not in WWE anymore or whatever, and so there's my Pac figure, and then
Oh God,
a
that
little
doesn't count.
a little while later, I found this 2-pack, and it has like it was at Target. There was like 15 of them at my Target in Lawrence, where it was the Revival, and it came with steps. It came with NXT microphones, the NXT Tag Team Championships. It started at 15, then it went down to 12, then it went down to 5, and then I bought it at $3. And I was like, well, I don't need to buy another Revival figure because I got it right here. So I bought those knowing that one day the Revival were going to go to Ring of Honor or New Japan, or, they were going to wrestle the Bucks. So I need these figures. So that's what I did. I'd buy a Dean Ambrose figure,
Yeah, we'll see.
Count, but I don't know about the rest of them. If they made a Moxley figure of him with the belt, I'd probably buy that because I was there when he won the belt.
Because I was there in Revolution.
If I'm gonna have like a figure, it's gotta have meaning to it. It can't just be a figure just to buy it. It's gotta have meaning to it. I got this like basic Seth Rollins figure that came with the golden Money in the Bank briefcase, and I opened it and I put it next to the picture of me meeting him because that was the day before he cashed in. So I was like, well, gotta have that figure. So it's gotta have meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite Star Wars figure? Like, wrapping up here, what's your favorite Star Wars figure you have? Because I didn't know you collect Star Wars figures.
That's really hard. Wow. So I don't know if I could give a one. So I really like the Black Series line. If anyone listening collects figures, I know what I'm talking about.
I got the Rey with the little what's
BB-8.
the new droid?
Oh, the Dio.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah, I got that one. I opened it.
So that's the 6-inch stuff. My favorite, I have the first Black Series figure ever made, which was the number 1, the Luke Skywalker and the X-Wing pilot. And that's literally the first Black Series figure ever. And that one's up there because I love that look. I love the Captain Rex. If anyone watches the Clone Wars, that's one of the best Black Series figures. And probably obviously like the stereotypical one, but it's the best, is definitely like the Mandalorian. Like if you have the carbonized one from the Target exclusive, where it's like the shinier suit, that figure is incredible. It's like any of the Mandalorian Black Series figures are super hard to find. But I was able to get one the day it came out. But those are probably the 3. The Captain Rex, the Luke, and the Mandalorian are probably my 3. And then for the smaller ones, I have an Anakin and an Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith that I just love. So yeah, probably those. But I'm more of a 6-inch collector, and I have a sideshow Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, which is unbelievable. Which I spent like $250 on because I needed to just have one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I needed to have it. I'll show you guys on the video after we're done.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, that's probably those are probably the ones where I have a lot of figures. But yeah,
I didn't know you collect Star Wars figures. That's pretty sweet. So
yeah, they're great. They're super fun, and they're a lot easier to collect than WWE.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's kind of why I don't collect WWE figures, is because
there's so many.
I just wind up wanting them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do it. So, but yeah.
But all right, well, tune in a couple of weeks when we do this again and we talk about what AEW figures we bought and how many Justin ended up buying. And
we'll get Ravi on and we'll talk about Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. I'll take off that day. But
we should definitely, let's definitely do this. And we should definitely do a one where we talk about the Vegas trip, because we didn't talk about Vegas that much.
We need Ravi for that one.
We do need Ravi for that one for sure.
All right, well, tune in, stay tuned, and that's it. Ryan, thanks for coming on, and
thanks, guys.
That's it. We'll talk to you again in the next one
tomorrow.